Oh,
Uh,
hey, Wayne.
Hello, Bradley.
So great to see you.
Yeah, good to see you as well. Look at
Yeah.
that. You haven't
Wow.
changed a bit. You don't age, my friend. You don't get gray.
Oh,
Right?
man. Yeah. That's why I keep the beard on. You can't see
Right?
enough to know.
Can't tell. Can't tell.
How you doing, man?
Doing good.
Yeah.
Doing good for, the world's been a dumpster fire for the past couple of years. So we're doing good. So, through it. So
Yeah.
can't complain really.
Good, good. It's been a long time.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember when the last time it was that we kind of were
Yeah.
hanging. Oh, yeah, you came back one time and we were somewhere. We took that picture of us and Gata was there, Craig was there. We were all kind of there. Whipkey was there. I forgot what that was
Oh,
for.
yeah. That was at the Night Owl.
Yes.
That was just a visit. I wanted to hang with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun, man. I wanted to talk with you because I was doing some of the math, and I think we've played music together for over half of my 25 years I've been playing music.
Right. Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Do you remember, was the first time we played together was at Seven Deadlies, or did we do something before that?
I don't think we played before that.
Yeah.
Oh, that was I was the only time we played together before that, I think, did you say that you were in a previous band that was played at the same show as Five Story Fall or something
Yeah.
back in the day? That's
Yeah,
the first time.
my first band when I was like 17, we played at like some Fremont I don't know, like it was like a auditorium or
Yeah, it's
gymnasium
like
or
a
something.
gymnasium or something. Yeah.
But we were super excited to be on the bill with you guys because, when I was in my 16, 17, 18, I was just going to local shows every night of the week and buying local CDs. And I was into local music more than anything on the radio. And I was listening to your music, and yeah, I think we had a Five Story Fall cassette tape that we would
Oh
listen
yeah, the
to.
absolute one, which is the better one than the album. It's way better.
It looked like
Yeah,
a deck of cards or something, didn't it?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
It was super cool. But so yeah, that show in Fremont was like, I think we kind of like scooted up to you and be like, "Hey, we really like your music," and you were super
Yep,
friendly. I remember talking to you kind of on the back loading dock, and you were
yeah.
just super cool. So
That's just so funny because, then years forward, when we're actually reminiscing about that, I'm just like, God, I barely remember that. Oh, you're so different. It's just, yeah, you
yeah,
see different people, but
yeah.
yeah, so
No, but
different stories.
yeah, you guys were my heroes. It was watching the bands that were not much older than me, but just doing more and
Right.
and and doing original music. And
Yeah.
so November 3rd, 1997, at the Ranch Bowl was the first time I stepped on stage and played a song.
Really.
So I was wondering if you could just talk a little bit about the Ranch Bowl and what your
Oh, man.
experiences were.
The Ranch Bowl. Yeah. It was weird because it was kind of at the same time, yet the second chapter, when I got here in 91, my band was playing a lot with down at the Howard Street Tavern. That was the center of music at the time downtown. And that all kind of crushed. And then the Ranch Bowl was always doing stuff. And so there was a time that it came around to where we started moving into the Ranch Bowl days. And yeah, the Ranch Bowl for me, I know they've got this documentary out and everything. And it was like since we, with Five Story Fall, that's kind of where we were based out of because we ended up getting signed up with their label and playing a lot there, and I was able to do a lot. But even before that, just going to the Ranch Bowl, I remember the Cocktosans played there, and we opened for the Smithereens. And there's video out there if you Google the Cocktosans. There's that video of us that whole show that we played right before, and it's at their sandstock kind of thing. It was outside in the back. So I guess the Ranch Bowl used to be a place for me to come before I even started playing there, just to be able. That's where you go to meet those bands, to meet the bands because it's right there. They can't get anywhere else. You can't really. There's a green room, but man, if you wait outside long enough, you're gonna meet them. You might be bowling with them. We got to bowl with all sorts of of the bands that were playing there, And it was just that I knew that those shows were great because of that. And you knew that it was going to be small enough, and you good chance that you can be right up there. You can get sweat on by the rock stars, whatever. But like, holy shit, I'm just sitting here drinking, and everybody that worked there ended up becoming good friends, with all those bands in the 90s that played there, all our local crew that we all battled each other, for gigs. And but the whole crew there was awesome to I just remember Mama and you know everybody
Mhm.
there that was running sound and all, and it was a good time. Yeah, it was definitely
Yeah.
a formative time in Omaha music for sure, on that end of the spectrum,
Yeah.
outside of the Saddle Creek spectrum and all that. That's where it
Mhm.
was all happening.
Yeah, I definitely identify with the being able to meet the bands aspect of that venue, because that's, I mean, I was getting autographs and stuff, and just going on people's tour buses and seeing what
Right.
they had on there, and it was super. Just everybody was really accessible in that venue. It was cool.
Yeah. Ah, so good. It was, yeah, it's great memories of that shithole. It really was a
I
shithole.
know. Yeah.
But
Yep.
and also back in those days, I was working for the Reader and or I was working writing, so I got to do all these interviews with these people too. So we're back in Nick and Eric's, and I'm sitting there with Antenna, which is part of the Blake Babies. I'm like freaking out, and anyway, you can meet anybody at the three like different bars and the bowling alley that they had. You just never knew. You're sitting next to Eddie Vedder, just chilling back when they first started, just no big deal,
Hmm.
and everybody was cool. And I think that's why a lot of people are okay with it, because most people are cool about it. But then, yeah, oh man, there was and then so many drunken nights and just stupid shit. God,
Yep.
that's when I like fired Pat out of Five Story Fall, and he tried to smash his guitar in the hallway, and we got a big argument, and I threw it at him out in the parking lot, and I wrote a song "Smash," which ended up on the record. Thanks, Ranchville, for that. Oh, what a blowout! A drunk and stupid mess. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure that wasn't the only smash guitar in that place.
probably not. No.
Oh man. Well, so we met early on in like the late 90s, and I, followed your music and everything, but then we reconnected probably around, would you say like 2008 or so, when you were doing the
Yeah.
podcast,
Yeah.
Worlds of Wayne.
Yeah.
When did you start that
Wait,
podcast?
2008. I started that one so that was my main one. And I think, God, 2006. It was
2006.
before many people were podcasting. I mean,
Yeah.
I was pretty brand new into the game, but everybody was like, it's crazy how it blew up.
Mhm.
But because I was working for the Reader and getting all these interviews from all these celebrities and whatnot, I thought, oh, may as well make a show out of it. I did, but I really wanted to focus on local music. And so I got to have everybody over, and I don't know. I was used to plying all the bands with liquor and getting them to talk and play live in the studio, and yeah, we had some fun times. I
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
in the room that we used to do that in, and it's weird to think about now. I get weird vibes in here because it's just like, oh, the energy we had in here with everybody from God, Blood Cow. Oh, you don't even know what happened to Blood Cow. Me and Arenda Fink going through like 5 martinis and just, yeah, just nuts.
Yep. Well, I know,
Uh,
yeah, I definitely loosened up whenever I was on your your
yeah, we had
show.
such a great time.
Yeah. But I remember was I on your podcast before Seven Deadlies, or was that kind
Yeah,
of, yeah.
I
So
think it was totally before that. Yeah.
yeah. Do you remember how it came about that you started playing with us in the Seven Deadlies?
Um, I I think it was the tour,
Yeah.
because it was 2009. I was looking at that video, and it was like
Mhm.
13 years. I'm like, holy shit, that was 13 years ago. But I think it was the tour. I think it was Gator couldn't do it. Um, it was a long tour. Probably didn't pay much,
Mhm.
so so who you gonna call? But I think Craig was like, I mean, Craig had gotten to know each other a little bit better, and it was one of those things where I was already a fan of the band.
Mhm.
Easily couldn't learn Gata's parts, I'd learn them as much as I could, but like, oh, we got a tour. It's gonna be 2 weeks, and we're going here, and And I think that was it. And it was really because I don't know, Craig always said that, "Oh, let's get Wayne because he'll be fun on tour and he'll make it everything all right." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I will." I was so excited about always going on tour that like just driving out of town with a band was like, ah. And so I was very excited about it. And I was gonna make it. I didn't care how much we made. I didn't care what we did. We're gonna make it fun. And that was the first time, yeah. And I think we had a lot of rehearsals up to that point.
Yeah, because you probably had a list of, I don't know, 20, 30 songs to learn. And
Right. Yeah. And learn them and try and learn them in a way that we can, yeah. Yeah, that was the weirdest thing because I was not the drummer, Gata was, and then he did, there's a lot of different parts on there. Like, how are we gonna pull this off every night? Um, yeah, so that was fun though. It was to me, it was one of the most rewarding things because I just love your voice. I always love a band with good vocals. And Whitney and me had played together, of course, with
Right.
Anonymous American for like 8 years,
Mhm.
and so me and Whipke always have a good time on stage. He's yeah, we kind of get a little rough, but but I was so enamored with the songs that I thought it would be great, and I thought, yeah, going on tour was it, yeah, and I had the availability to do it, and I thought, man, I could do this for you, I'm yeah, and it was yeah, it was interesting. It was so many. It was the tour that was like brutal in a lot of ways, yet I have the fondest memories of it. Even I remember Craig will tell you the story too if you talk to him.
Yeah.
Angela, you say, man, you talk about how laborious it was, yet you talk about it, and you guys are like always so happy about talking about it. Like it was such a fun thing, and we're like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Going through that kind of thing, going on tour was to me a way to, I don't know, experience travel when I don't necessarily want to travel, but I'll travel with a band if I don't have to drive all the way.
Right. Yeah.
I'll play in front of people, and we got to go all over. And yeah, so that was
Yeah.
probably it. That was it. And then it was kind of one of those things where it's like when you needed somebody to either tour or play shows that you couldn't, I could already knew all the songs and already bonded with the band, and so I could fill in when you need it. That was it. So I got to be the fill-in drummer, guys. Yeah, the ones that the gay didn't want to take those gigs, so I got those gigs. But it was fun because I feel like I brought a different show to what you do, a little
Mhm.
bit different energy than what Gata does. I didn't, Gata's just got something special that I would never want to replace on any of your recordings. That guy is a goddamn genius. But I was honored to be able to allow me to dumb it down sometimes and just get animalistic with it and really, bring out that little more, thing. But Whipke was
Yeah.
really, it's all his fault. He promotes all of that.
He does.
Him getting too out there, and I felt bad about that because I egged him on. But yeah,
Yeah. Well, I let him run a little wild too, so
well,
it's fun. It's living. I live vicariously through people like you, because I'm so reserved and serious on
yeah,
stage
he
most of
keeps
the
his
time.
composure. You always keep
Yeah.
your composure throughout the show. You're like, all right, Whipke's like jumping up, doing stuff, fucking up chords, and you're like, okay, we're about
This
done
is
now.
yeah, this is the rock and roll part of the show.
Right. Hope you guys are okay. We're outside, right? Yeah. Okay. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's loud. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Well, I remember, I mean, it was so much fun touring with you. It was like that was an interesting time for me because I don't know what was going on with me, whether it was probably undiagnosed depression actually,
Mhm.
but I was just not in a good headspace on that tour. I was taking Benadryl and just sleeping most of the time.
Yeah.
Any
That was me.
anytime that I could, I was just trying to check out, because I didn't know how to deal with my anxiety. And if you remember, anybody's like, if anybody asked, where are we playing tomorrow, or what time are we getting there, I would say check the syllabus. Or
Right. You wrote
I
it all
just
out beforehand because you
yeah,
knew.
because I just couldn't handle, the stress on that tour. It was
Right.
I wanted to kind of check out. So it was just so good to have your energy on that tour to lighten the mood. I mean, it was just it really made the tour. I think having you along.
Uh,
So Yeah.
Well, that's cool because I've been on shitty tours. I've been on. Oh man, yeah, I've been on shit tours. That didn't help at all. Like I was ready to leave like 4 gigs in, but yeah, and that was my goal because I was able to do it, and I felt like at that time in my life and my drumming career, I'd done a whole lot. And this was the time I get to just hang with friends, and I've never gotten to go on tour. And I wanted to go to all these places. I wanted to go to New York and Niagara Falls, and I wanted to, do all. I wanted to live that little bit of rock style.
Hmm.
And I don't know, just the shows were of in your music at the time, was of a quality that I just was proud of and was honored to play. And you're just like, oh, if I can do this, man, that's great. I was very good at,
Yeah.
and you always stretched me on, and it was a good stretch for me to play anyways, because I wasn't always bombastic and whatnot, but it was a
Yeah.
good exercise for me to learn. And I think it helped me a lot in the future, especially with like Sailing and Soup and the other bands that got in, that they play a wide variety of eclectic music and
Mhm.
drum styles. And for me to be primarily a rock drummer going into something that's going to be a lot more intimate, it was I think it was necessary at the time for me to do. Going on the tour though was just super fun. I was able to do it. I had the money. I was like, all right, fine, I'll just do this. And I was with people that I fucking loved. So
Mhm.
it didn't. To me, that was what mattered. Whenever you go on tour and you're not going on tour, and you have to really compartmentalize if you don't like those people or you don't get along. But for us, the tension was that we needed, sometimes there was tension, there was, and especially with what you were going through, but most of the time it was kind of like, I mean, we were just going through this experience together. And it felt like it. It felt like that. And it felt like that every night that we played, even if we didn't play to anybody. And then even if we played and we had chickens in our hands and we were, doing that, and it got really, really freaking, there was a lot of stories that came out of this tour. So to me, that's what I wanted us to think about. No matter how shitty the tour was, or the weather, or the pay, or
Mhm.
the driving, the fact is, Brad Hoshaw's doing it. He's putting his music out there, and we're there, and we're experiencing it with you. And that's, to
Yeah.
me, that was the reward. So I was like, let's make it as fun as fucking possible, because it's not always going to be that way. We're not going to always like those people that we're sitting next to. I know this. I want to throw Matt out of the van for just like snoring or chomping his mouth too bad, and eating, like, shut the out, fucking stop.
Yep.
But even with that, not so we loved each other. So it was really good, and we were all pretty stable people, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it made it all right. We survived.
yeah, we sure did.
We have
Do
and wouldn't trade it for the world, really. I wouldn't.
No way. Do you wanna watch a little video you put
Mm.
together of that tour and
Oh yeah, funny
s
because I was looking at this earlier, and what did I record this on? As a Razor phone? I think I don't know. Do we
Must
have
be.
iPhones back then? I don't
I
remember.
don't 2009? I don't know.
What did I have? I must have had a phone of some
Yeah?
sort. I
This
recall.
Oh, you had
Guess.
one of those big TV size cameras.
I wish. Dude, that's where I started.
Yep.
But yeah, so this was something I think I put together, and then I put together on Windows Movie Maker or something.
And the song on it is actually an unreleased song that
Really.
was pre Seven Deadlies.
Yeah. I
Um,
love this song though. It's one of my
yeah,
favorites.
it's a good song. I might put that out this year just as like a single or something.
Just
Put it
always
out
thought
there.
that it fit the tour that we were doing and why we were doing it. It was your way. We're just on that
Yeah,
journey with you,
yeah,
and
right.
I've always loved this song. The song, because of this and our tour, the song is probably my favorite Brad
Yeah,
Show song.
cool. Well, it's the heart that'll let you down. It's a long, sad story. You are known as the man with the perfect frown. it's all your fault. It's the depth of your sorrow that'll drive you insane. It's the nine-jacking cokes till they turn you away. It's the waking up next to a brand new face. It's the poet's way of falling down. So they say that you're the saddest man in town. Let me hear your story. Writing songs for all the girls that have let you down. And it's all your fault. It's the depth of your sorrow that'll drive you insane. It's the nine-jacking cokes till they turn you away. It's the waking up next to a brand new face. It's the poet's way of falling down. It's a poet's way of falling down. Take your heart out for all to see. It's more entertaining to them than their cable TV. And each night they walk out, leave $1 behind. They'll be back next week to feel good about their lives. It's the depth of your sorrow that'll drive you insane. It's the nine-jacking cokes till they turn you away. It's the waking up next to a brand new face. It's the poet's way of falling down. It's the poet's way of falling down. Da, 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 da. It's the poet's way of falling down. It's the poet's way of falling down. It's the depth of your sorrow that'll drive you insane. It's the nine-jacking cokes till they turn you away. It's the waking up next to a brand new face. It's the poet's way of falling down. It's the poet's way of falling down. Oh man, just seeing that brings back all the stories. What do you think the highlight of that tour was? What was the high point for you?
High point for me, I think, would probably be a little bit of New York, but I think that party that we went to, that private party that we did
In
I
Michigan there?
yeah,
Yeah.
there was some shit was going down there. That was fun, and that was just a unique, fun experience. Um, I think I remember Niagara Falls, which was fun to go see. Like I think when we were visiting places, we took time to actually try and visit, uh, just have fun along the tour and visit places, and just yeah, Asbury Park and New York City, going to Cat's Deli.
Right.
Gosh, that was great. Um, and there were some moments that were, smaller venues, the coffee shops, they were frustrating, but ended up having like good times after that. Um, there was that time at that little theater, makeshift theater, they were still working on, and that's the story I have about that tour. And you asked me about a special song,
Yeah.
This was a place that was this big open venue, kind of it was in a not a strip mall, I forget where it was, but there was a stage, there's couches everywhere, 'cause the people were just it was almost a private party.
Yeah.
And the people were still working on this venue that was gonna be this great art space, this great venue space, but it was still very undeveloped. So we wandered around and we were kinda ghost hunting through it because it was fucking creepy. And, but I remember that show being very calm, just very laid back. Um, and we did full band for a while, and you played for a while, and at that time that you had new songs, and um, in this one we had never played before, and you were doing it acoustic, and I remember me and Craig going into the bathroom, right? So we went to take a piss, and we're in the urinals, and all of a sudden he broke into New Tattoo, and we were like, we stayed in there, we're done, and we're talking. We listened to this, and we heard you playing this song. It was like one of the first times you played. It was the first time that we had heard it like this, and we were stunned. It was it, and Craig will tell you the same story too. But I mean, we were both like, "Oh, wow, that's powerful," and everybody was like, "Whoa!" And being a new song too, you play with that fucking heart, and it's like when you get to experience that for the first time, when you're doing that and experimenting with it, that was a treat for us. But it was just, I can't say that I care enough about anybody else as far as their music goes to have been affected like that. But I yeah, that was the most significant, I think, musical part of it for me. Just hearing that, and then having the pleasure to play that later. Years later when we're playing together, and now it's a full band thing, and we can get heavy with it, like bah, But I always, every time I played that song, I thought about that moment in the bathroom, and the acoustics were fucking great because it was, the whole thing was an open warehouse kind of thing, and it just sounded great where we were. Uh, yeah, that was special. I dug
Wow.
that.
Yeah, that was, I think that was up in Wisconsin, that venue there.
All right.
Yeah, that was a cool show. I wanted to ask you about kind of what it was like for you to be sharing drumming duties in the Seven Deadlies. I'm sure there was some mixed feelings about it, and
You're gonna bring that up. You are gonna
yeah,
bring that up. Trust
yeah.
me.
Um, I just, I'm really, I really care about how you feel about it, and I'd love to hear your thoughts, and
All right.
yeah, because Scott Gaeta was the original drummer and played on all the recordings, and then for this tour we invited you on, um, and then for the rest of the 10 years or so, basically you were there for the entire run of the Seven Deadlies, but it was not every show
Right.
on drums.
No, actually, to be honest, and I've thought about this a lot, um, and not many people know. I don't know. I pride myself on being able to play with anybody at any time, fit in with any band, with any style, as much as I can. Um, I was very happy being the fill-in drummer. I can't do what Gator does on your albums, and I got that. Um, and I felt like I brought a very different vibe to the show, so I got that as well. And depending on what the show was, I could be a good fit or not a good fit. Um, and I got that. So I don't know. On one hand, I am very proud to be able to do that and just be that. That's my job. I'm a professional. I go in, I do it, and whatnot. Yeah. Ego wise, after a while, yeah, when you go on tour with somebody, you kind of bond, and then after a while, it's kind of like, oh, I don't get it's strictly only ego, and it's a test of are you a professional or not? Are you going to be a dick? And I was like, I don't want to be a dick. Um, but did I want to play some of the slow down shows and the big shows that paid money and the ones that and be in the pictures? Yeah, I did once in a while. Only because when you go on tour, you just get like and you start to, and I realized that you can't, when you do the job that I had, you can't claim ownership. Do not do that. You're not that. And yeah, but my ego is built up from fucking early 90s of doing a whole bunch of awesome stuff. And then, but I, again, always have been like, I always want to play to the best of my ability, and be able to fill in and do whatever. I would never say no. And I'd never say no to you, man. I'd cancel all this shit if I had already planned, if you asked me to play, and I did. Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
mixed feeling. And it's somebody feels good to be brought back up now, because there it was, and I see it was complete ego, and I'm so happy to let it go, because it's just not there. It's not anything that
Yeah.
I was super proud of doing what I did with the Deadlies, and I got I got all the reward I could possibly want from it, and I don't, again, like I said, I was just honored to be as what I felt almost unqualified to do for you, because of what Gata can do. You still allowed me to do it, and the times that we had were invaluable. So anything else other than that is strictly emotion and ego and bullshit that doesn't need to even, it just needs to be, shunned away, because the beauty of all of the experience outshines that 1,000 times. So
Mhm.
yeah. So yeah, I'm in
Yeah.
a good place with it. So don't worry about it. But am I gonna come watch you play Slow Down with Gator? No. No, probably not.
Well, I remember, I think we played a show at the Bourbon Theater. Maybe it was opening for Lucero. I remember just thinking how grateful I was to have you on that gig, because it was a big room, and there was it needed a lot of energy. And I was like, we needed to be the Wayne Brekke Seven Deadlies tonight, And I always felt like Delta King had a little something that you did differently, that for a lot of shows it was just like, yeah, we nailed it better than we usually do. Like, I felt like you had a lot of unique things that you offered that helped us in a lot of ways. And so
Yeah,
I
and it's
just
weird because there were some songs that I just couldn't get what Gator was doing.
mhm,
I couldn't put it. I just couldn't get what he was doing on that. Had to modify, and so I had to replace that with either energy or
mhm.
timing. Make sure the fucking timing's on. But you were very good at, you're very good at band leading when it comes to that, dude. You need to do this. And then I had Craig on the other side telling me, "Oh no, yeah, Craig
Right.
is one of my best friends, so he will be on me about every fucking thing I miss or anything." He was just on me, and it was
Mhm,
crucial to my development with it. But it was like, if one thing I could bring to the shows is, an energy behind there,
mhm.
so that people maybe can forgo these beautiful slappy snare things that he does, and then can be like, "Oh, look at it, yeah, look at what you something on Wayne's drums. Okay, great, yeah, woo, love
Yep, yep. Yeah, well,
it."
how about we watch the Union Pacific performance,
Oh yeah.
because that is, you on the drums there. We're playing a song called Carpenter that we did for Union Pacific. It was like a video series that they showed to their employees right before their meetings. And
Yeah.
do you have any memories about that shoot? Watch it.
Dude, it was just cold. I remember it being like cold. It was like coming on fall, winter. I don't remember, but it was cool to be by the trains. We got a really cool kind of the way we went. It was just kind of a cool way they handled us. And it was
Mhm.
fun to watch the trains and be right there. It was really cool because we knew that these guys love drunk, or were pros at recording audio live, and it was exciting to be able to record this as a live performance. There's no, like,
Mhm.
big overdubs or nothing. They just put it up there, and it was like out in the open. We had to do it a few times, and it was just, I don't know. It was pretty fun.
Brad, are you buying lunch?
Hand me my hammer, I'll be a carpenter for you. I'll Built you that bedroom with the perfect northern view, where we're sleeping on Sundays and we'll put their prayers to use. Hand me my hammer, let's get to work. You pick the colors while I take all the room. And I'll give you kisses till you find your shade of blue. Then we'll head to the city and we'll grab a can or two. Hand me my hammer, let's get to work. You can decorate, girlie, with what grandma left for you. 'Cause you make me feel manly and we're so in love. Then we'll fall asleep soundly by that perfect northern view. Hand me my hammer, let's get to work. Hand me my hammer, let's get to work. Hand me my
That was fantastic.
They like wired up power just for that too. I remember they ran
That was
like a
a
new power
thing.
line. Yeah.
That was a thing. That was yeah, it was, you gotta, you know, all respect to Django, I mean, for lining all that up and arranging it all, because they gave him full reign too, and they just let him do it. And it was like pro the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was cold though, man.
So one of my favorite well, I don't know if it's my favorite memory, but it's something whenever I think of you, I always think about how you mock my voice in Blue Bicycle.
Oh, you hated that. He like gets mad at me sometimes. So he looks real sweet, man. But when he gets mad at you, you irritate Brad. He has a Brad irritated look that he's like, you don't forget. But it's gold. Yeah. Oh man.
Yep. So
Oh,
yeah, you used to say that
I
I
love
sounded
that
like
song, man.
Kermit the Frog when I
No,
sang.
no, but you just blue, blue bicycle. Oh, I can't even remember now. I don't even want to try it.
Yeah.
But you gotta get down here.
Mhm.
There's something about Brad. Yeah. It doesn't matter what you're singing, sometimes, but you gotta be this. I don't know. It's the only way I can mimic you.
No, that's pretty good.
Right? But if you tweak it, you're like, hello. Hello, my name is Brad Hoshaw. And I can really get it to Kermit the Frog. So you got to be real careful of that, because it's like that. No, it's not the way his voice.
Oh man.
Oh, and I do
Yep.
it, but you got to be irritating with it, and I would do it on the mic. You're like, where you look back at me like, stop. But now every time me and Craig work together and I need a hammer, I'm like, hand me my hammer. And I have to do it in the harmony that I was doing. I have to figure what that 1/3 harmony
Right.
was.
It's fun to
Mhm.
hang out with you, man.
The other thing that we did, don't forget, we did the
Yeah.
Tiny Desk concert thing.
Oh yeah.
That was what we did in my living room. Oh my gosh. And we had, I don't remember what the fuck I recorded it with. It may have been a small, I don't remember, but I remember we did the Tiny Desk concert, and you did that with that was years later too, with Sailing in Sue.
That was 2018, so that
fascinating.
was just like 4 years ago or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the last kind of, I don't know, like group performance that we had probably.
Yeah,
Actually,
that was cool. I think was that Craig that kind of came up with that idea?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I know, remember Gunnar and, well, yeah, we sung back up, I guess. I played
Mhm.
cajon,
Yeah.
and we kind of tried to light my living room as best we could.
Oh
It was so good. I
yeah.
remember, and the lighting was just like, oh my gosh, can we just get more light in here? I had no light in the living room. But it looked really cozy, and the song was beautiful. But that was pretty fun. But that was probably the last time we played together like that. That was when we were playing a lot. Actually, Sailing was as a 5 piece, and yeah, that was just ended up working out really well because you were like, I need a video. We need to do this, and so we're like, yeah, let's learn and do it.
Yeah. Well, we should watch that then. I was young once, young and barefoot and past my prime. Holding magic in my hands, drawing dogs of fire in the sky. I was young once, 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 young and barefoot and past my prime. Holding magic in my hands, drawing dogs of fire in the sky. I was young once, I was young once, I was young once, I was young once, beside you, I'm like blue.
Oh, so great, Bradley.
That is
Oh, I forgot
great.
about that one. I
Oh,
forgot about that one. Wow, that was very cool. And yeah, that would have been great on Tiny Desk concert. They
yeah.
missed out. What the hell, man? I don't know. Oh my gosh. Um,
Oh
yeah,
man. Well,
that though makes up for any, yeah, that is to me, I get those kind of experiences and yeah, I get to treasure those. So you know, that's to me is being a jack of all trades kind of thing, And that's
yeah.
why I am, kind of a jack of all trades. So
Yeah.
that being able to be your right hand, yeah, second hand man, I know, number two, you know,
Left
but
hand, would it be?
yeah, be your left hand, right?
Yeah.
It's weird because Gator plays open, but yeah, being able to do that all these years and being able to share the music that you know, share your music with other people, being able to be there when you needed me and be able to pull that job off with that bias of love and respect. And just, yeah, that to me has been something that I always treasure, and no matter what you do in your career, where you are in your life, or however many years it is that we don't talk or whatnot, that has made a huge impact on my life and my drumming career. And even though I'm not drumming anymore, yeah, it is, yeah. Just had to let you know, man. After a bottle of wine, I'm like, dude, I love you, man, and yeah, I was glad to be that part of your journey. That's what I could say.
Oh.
I mean, God, I get to be part of your journey. That's great. I didn't have to be your fucking right hand man and do all your recording and shit, man. I had the easy job. So, you know, I mean, it was
Oh
a pleasure.
man. Thanks so much, Wayne. Like it's been a wonderful, journey together. I know we'll play music together again at some point.
I
Even
hope
though
so.
you're not a drummer anymore, I guess.
I can be. I'm a Native American flute player now, though, man. If you want
Oh,
that,
wow.
I'm now addicted to that, and it's weird. It's like, oh, a drummer is actually playing notes and stuff. I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, yeah, I mean, these past 25 years, there have been so many musicians that I've been able to work with, and I'm grateful for everyone. But for you, especially, without you and without your support over the years, I would not
Yeah.
be where I am now. I wouldn't have what I have, and so I'm just so grateful for you giving your time, your energy, and your heart to my songs. And I just want you to know that I love you, man.
Uh, you're not gonna end every interview with me crying in tears now, are you? Because
Absolutely
yeah.
not.
All right. Well, no,
Uh,
I'm open. Yeah, and I hope people enjoy what they see tonight, and and what you're doing here with being doing these zooms and doing these videos. It meant a lot to me. But I think also for the fans and whatnot. I don't know. It just kind of gives you an insight to your past and how you got there. And yeah,
yeah,
thanks for doing that. Thanks for including me in that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you if you have any new projects that you're passionate about that you'd like to
Hmm.
speak about.
Yeah, really. My whole life right now is surrounded around my business. So I have a business called Dungeon Crate, which is a nerd thing. It's all about yeah, it's a RPG subscription box for Dungeons and Dragons kind of role playing. We give all the accessories and whatnot. And I've opened up a retail store here in Benson, which is, I live in Benson, so you were the mayor of Benson. So I'm happy
I
to have a store now that where people can come in and purchase all sorts of nerdery, like dice and treasures and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, doing that and following a spiritual path. So I've been reading runes and a rune reader for about 5 years now, I think, if I remember right. So I do divination and whatnot. So yeah, the other part of me that is not the musician, not the business owner, but the spiritual guidance person. But yeah, I do rune readings, rune ways. I have my podcast, so you can listen to as well. And but yeah, I've been doing that, and that's been keeping me really busy. Um, growth wise, spiritually growth wise, but everything else, and that's kind of where I'm directing my life these days, and kind of attuning my own music to these days, and yeah,
That's
so
great.
that's it.
Well, thanks so much, Wayne, for taking this time with me tonight. It was just really great to reconnect.
Yeah. Yeah,
Send my best to the
So-
family, okay?
I will. Yeah.
Have a good night.